So, it's been a while since we've actually recorded in this room. However, today, just as I promised, we have the review today to do for Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. And with saying that, honestly, I did not lie. I actually watched it the day after Jumanji at 12 p.m., not a.m. So I can say quite a bit about it because it's still fresh in my memory, other than the fact of this is spoiler free. I want to welcome you back to another YouTube video, you beautiful hosers, and also I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. As you're watching this, today is currently Christmas. If you're watching this after Christmas, Happy New Year, because there's not another video coming this year. The Apex video will be up within the new year. I can't really say much other than that, to be honest. So, anyways, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. What can I say about this film? It's better than The Last Jedi. There's a lot of fan service in it. There's a lot of stuff that, personally, to me, I feel like it shouldn't have been in the film. But, you know, it's still fan servicey moments. And I actually got something that I've actually wanted for many, many years in a Star Wars film. It's finally came to life. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's actually an Easter egg in the film. I'm not going to spoil it or discuss it. However, it is a nod to the KOTOR series. Now, KOTOR is actually known as Knights of the Old Republic. So this is way back when the Jedi were just really, really extremely small. And prior to the Mandalorian Wars and that era. It's really all I can say without spoiling the film. Now, aside from that I'm happy that actually happened, there's a couple of other Easter eggs where they've put certain characters on the big screen for the first time using only their voices, not actually the bodies. However, there is some stuff that I still think should not have been cut from the film, which was cut. But I can understand why at certain parts that it was cut. The only thing I don't understand is why they cut a specific character's role that could have been bigger in the film, as what they were trying to imply throughout like 6 films prior to this. We're going back to the prequels and the original trilogy. We're not counting this new one for a specific character. It's kind of strange. The visual effects were really good. As for the choreography, it was not better than Revenge of the Sith. I'm sorry, but almost nothing right now can top the choreography for the lightsaber battle in that film. However, it does have its few moments where they try tugging on the old heartstrings, but it really seems like they don't quite nail that aspect at times. What I mean by that is they have one story narrative throughout the first 2 films, and this one had to fix what the last one did. Because the last one actually went and did some stuff that it should not have done, but they did it anyways for whatever reason. As usual, they usually use their own soundtrack for the film, so I can't really say much about that because it's the stuff that I grew up knowing and loving. However, one of the songs they did remix, I don't understand why they wanted to make that one sound somewhat sappy when it's supposed to sound sinister. Especially during that scene. For me, it absolutely killed the mood, although the mood was already kind of killed by that time in the movie. And I feel like there was some missed opportunities in the film. Certain, let's say, fleets in the film were not utilized, and I don't entirely understand why. I mean, yes, they were trying to cut 2 films into one, which this film really did seem rushed, and it has a lot to do with running here, running there. It's more or less, I can't even say it's No Man's Sky. It's the Death Stranding of this trilogy. We go to checkpoint A, we do checkpoint B stuff, and then we do checkpoint C. While we're doing C, we'll have E done before D. Man, I sound like this is going on forever. So, the acting, certain parts were good, certain parts bad, just like you get with any film. However, the one thing that I can say I really liked about the movie, other than the fact of the Easter egg, was the new armor for the Sith Troopers. We already know they were going to be in the film because they've been in prior films. However, they actually didn't get that name until this film. Now, I would show you something about them, but I can't do that because that's kind of spoiler territory showing what they look like, so we're just going to leave it at that. What would I rate this film out of 10? It was enjoyable. Was it the worst thing I've ever seen? No, it wasn't. It's not even comparable to the old Sonic trailer. I can't compare the two, because that was just bad. However, what I can say, if I was rating it out of 10, we all know what I gave Jumanji. This one, I have to give it a 7.2. It was better than the previous iteration. However, there is still stuff that should have been done in film, that was not done in film, and stuff that had the power of plot armor. Now, what I'm talking about plot armor is let's create a super OP character without actually doing anything that actually proves that they should be OP. It's just like Darth Maul over again. Let's make a extremely cool character and then kill him off for no apparent reason and not give him a proper background story. Unless you want to dive into the books and the comics and that sort of stuff. As for the film in whole, I will watch it again. I will buy it because I love Star Wars. However, I just feel like at times they try too hard to make it a good film that they lose the touch that the film really needs that makes it Star Wars. War in the Stars. This has that. However, it has certain things that are misused. Now, if they had actually used them in the film, I might have been on board with that. Now, just throwing some shots in the dark here. The First Order. Now, this isn't spoiler. This is my personal opinion. I would have preferred to have them in the final battle actually fighting everyone else other than the rebels. Actually have them and the rebels conjoin for once in film and fight together. I would have actually loved to see that. However, that's not exactly what we got at all. Instead, I can't say because it's a spoiler. I'm just going to leave it with my final thoughts. I enjoyed it. I'll watch it again. But as for it being my favorite Star Wars film, nah. I still enjoy Revenge of the Sith way too much for it to even remotely come close. I love the Clone Wars. A lot of people hated the Clone Wars. I liked Revenge of the Sith. A lot of people hated that one. I liked the entire prequel trilogy. A lot of people hated that one. And due to unpopular opinion, I honestly think the second film of the original trilogy was the worst one out of them. But that's, once again, personal opinion. I mean, it wasn't worse than Last Jedi, I'm just saying, out of the original trilogy. I think that one was the most boring for me as a child. But I liked the first, and I liked the third. It's just, Star Wars, at certain points, tries too hard. Like The Mandalorian. They weren't aiming for a bar here, they were aiming here. But they hit here. That's what they need to do for the films. They're not actually doing that. Now, if we could actually get a film that takes place prior to the Jedi Order, I'm all on board on that. You can have my $20. Well, tickets are $20, but you get my drift. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. Let me know down in the comments down below. Did you watch the film? Did you enjoy it? What did you not enjoy about it? Did you hate it entirely like everybody else? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, I hope you're having a fantastic end to your 2019, and if you're not, I hope it gets better for you sooner rather than later. Peace out, and I shall see you all in the new year.